The 2016 HotelPlanner.com PGA EuroPro Tour season is into its 5th event, and this week we're on the beautiful windswept coast of East Scotland. Welcome to Montrose Golf Links for the Orchid Scottish Masters. And this tournament is never without drama. Here's what's coming up on this week's show. We have final round action from the Orchid Scottish Masters. John speaks to man at the moment, Greg Payne.
You've got to step up to the level. Everyone's getting hungry now, and you just got to, if you want to make it, you've got to work hard.
John Adams and Claire Penham from the Golf Club talk to us about the battles they face with coastal erosion.
Over this winter, we lost about another 5 or 6 metres behind the second tee.
We get the lowdown of the course here in Montrose.
You're online. Go on, my son. Go on, jump in. You have it. What a hole.
All that to come, but first, let's take a look back at last week's tournament at the Dawson & Sanderson Classic at Longhurst Hall. After event 4, this is how the order of merit is shaping up. Greg Payne leads the way after 2 second-place finishes, but Court, Runcie and Eddington are right behind after their wins. Jackson and Hodgkinson's runner-up spots also leave them well placed. This week's venue is one of the oldest courses in the world. In fact, only St Andrews has had golf played longer on their ground. With high winds expected off the North Sea, it's not going to be easy for the golfers this week, as John Morgan explains.
We're here at Montrose this week. Great links golf course right on the coast on the North Sea here, and I tell you what an absolute cracker it is. Par 71, just over 6,500 yards long. You've got to contend with these absolute beauties as well that are havoc all over the golf course. It's tight, it's fiddly, it's short. It's not the longest golf course. The boys are going to be able to dominate it from start to finish if the weather stays pretty quiet. But you know what links golf is like. It could be achy breaky time when it comes to the wind and the rain. Bring it on.
James Moore will take a 1-stroke lead into the final round at the Orchid Scottish Masters. The Sheffield golfer had a hole-in-one at the 3rd in his first round before signing for a 5-under par of 66 and backed that up with an unblemished 4-under second round to lead the field on 9 under. Nick Cunningham is second on 8 under after consecutive rounds of 67, while Peter Tarver-Jones, Max Brackley and Max Penny share 3rd on 7 under par with 1 round to play. Can James Moore, who's already been in contention several times already, close out the tournament and take his first EuroPro title? Your commentators, Gary Ellis and Simon Golding.
Yes, James Moore certainly due one, but as we know in this great game of golf, there is nothing out there that you don't have to work for. Well, this man knows how to go about his work. Let's hope the players are feeling just how lucky they are to be doing the job they do, Gary, because they're heading into a final round here at Montrose with nice conditions, beautiful course to play.
It is. It's a wonderful place, Montrose, along the coastline there, beautiful coast. It's a nice day today, a little bit of sun, bit of breeze, which actually the shot makers will be able to use and float the ball up and let the breeze carry the ball to the pin. It's going to be very, very interesting.
Well, Kinnaird with his second shot into the 13th. Already proof that there are some good numbers out there to be had. Up here on the northeast coast of Scotland, just north of Arbroath and Carnoustie, about 30 miles above Dundee. Lovely part of the world when the weather is like this, yes, and don't adjust your TV sets. That was a heat haze out there on the course. Now, one of the Scottish players hoping to bring this title home, McKechnie, with his second shot into the first, and that is beautifully flighted. The players that can use this win today are going to be able to get to these flags.
Yeah, I really think they are. Those that can just put a little bit of draw or fade and use the wind should be able to find some tricky pins. There's some one or two in tough places for this final round.
Kinnaird then for birdie. Well, you heard it. Around about halfway through that putt, he knew he hadn't given it quite enough juice. And not running that quick today, the greens, but not too slow either.
No, when I was out earlier on, they were measuring them, having cut and rolled them, and they're running at just over 9, which is not quick, but is quick enough for a seaside course. If you get a bit of breeze, we don't want the ball moving on the greens by itself.
Hemstock then, looking for a dream start, not quite, but as you can see, the green's absolutely true. Beautiful roll on the putt there. And they still using the old-fashioned stimp meter, or is there a digital replacement these days?
I don't think there's a digital. I've certainly not seen one or heard of one. So no, the little trough that you put the ball in, which is about a yard long and lifted up, and the weight of the ball falls out of the notch, and then you measure from north, south, east and west on a reasonably flat green and take the average, and that's the speed of them.
Yeah, that's how you come up with the number. And still using it all these years later. Lovely shot in from Timmis. Back to McKechnie then for his birdie opportunity at the first.
It's for a great start.
Oh, he'll take that. He will certainly take that, Paul McKechnie, the Braid Hills Golf Centre man. 69 and 67 on his first 2 days, and he'll be feeling good about his start. Now, Timmis has played brilliantly so far this season. Ooh. Well, he'll have known through most of that roll it wasn't quite going to make it. We've seen that kind of reaction from Jason before. Shows his emotions out there on the course. Now, Nick Cunningham got the long sleeve top on. That wind is a little brisk.
Yeah, it is. It's it looks bright, but the breeze, you know, as always across a links course, it just has that slightly chilly feel to it. But that's a good positioned tee shot there, taking the iron for safety to avoid the bunkers. Again, lovely turn, great balance. Look how steady his head is, and then a good release of the angles in his wrist, rotating the forearms to square the club face and smack one away down the first.
Well, we're here at the third, par 3, 154 yards, and what a hole it is. North Sea to my right, normally blowing at absolute hoolie, coming off your right-hand side as well, going to play havoc with your ball, come into a beautiful island green there in the distance that is not surrounded by water, but surrounded by gorse and heather and high grass and massive fall-offs everywhere. So it's just, you have to hit the putting surface. If you don't, well, you're in a world of pain. Now, you just imagine, you got to aim this about 20 yards right of the screen, ball would pick up in this gusty wind that comes off your right-hand side, and you'd have to try and control one, work the ball, maneuver it from left to right, hold it up in there. But no, it still is a daisy. Don't get any better than this, it really doesn't. Montrose is looking beautiful. Right, now, back of the stance, little 8-iron, little puncher under the wind. Oh, and I've caught a little beauty. Go on now, carry, 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 scuttle up. Go on, keep going. Oh, a little bit of chubby checker. It looks like about 20 feet. I'll take that.
Yeah, we'd all take it, John. And I reckon that Billy Hemstock would certainly take that after birdie at the second. He's got his final round moving. Beautiful, compact swing, the 31-year-old. Taymouth, great player for Devon over the years, and then progressed through the Walker Cup into his professional career, and has been successful on the EuroPro Tour in the past. But this man, James Moore, still looking for his first win. A very quiet year last year, Gary, but we talked about it last time out. It's good to see him back and playing well.
Yes, he's found a rich vein of form this season. Obviously been working well, got his confidence back, and he's there knocking on the door every week. Interesting, tall man, stands quite a long way, his arms are quite a long way away from his body, 3/4 backswing, and again uses the club head, swings his arms freely, and again finding the middle of the first fairway. Very good.
Well, these slow-mos week in, week out show us it really is a case of each to their own. There is a textbook. Gary Ellis knows more about that than most, but you've got to fit your swing to your player's shape, to your ability, and yeah, it's good to see that.
Absolutely. You know, it isn't a one-size-fits-all. As you say, there is a blueprint, a middle ground, if you like, but you don't very often find people who are Mr. Average in everything, so they're working it, and those that can do it more repetitively are more consistent and make more pennies.
And talking of Moore, that's Moore's approach. Left himself with one of those Montrose tricky ones. You can get long putts on links courses, as these guys well know, but McKechnie and his playing partner alongside him, Hemstock, left themselves in good position here. Oh, no.
It's quite uphill from there. You kind of, even the players get fooled. They're below, and it doesn't look as though it's that uphill, but it was a slow putt, as we could see, and disappointing for him because he left it right in the jaws of the hole.
Yeah, that was a good chance to move to 8 under, but McKechnie looks like he'll stay at 7 under. Back to Cunningham then, with his second shot into the first. Been a very good time of it so far for him. That wasn't what he was looking for. It's a little unlucky.
Yeah, a bit of misjudgment there. Just dropped it on the fringe and took that nasty hop.
Wry smile from the young man. Now after birdie at 2, Hemstock looking to make it 2 from 2.
And almost exactly the same as Paul McKechnie. Well, he hit it just about hard enough, but didn't get it on the right line.
70 and 66 for Billy Hemstock in the first 2 rounds of golf here. But I always feel those players that have had a win on the EuroPro Tour, or as in Billy's case, several wins, they've just got something a little extra in the locker to call on in those final rounds. Now, very linksy from this young man Cunningham, taking putter from way off the green, and with the Open just around the corner, we'll see a fair few shots like that over the next few weeks.
Yeah, it's lovely to get some links golf. We probably don't see enough of it.
The big man, 6'5", Max Brackley. Mad Max back there on the tee, hits a long, long ball, but unfortunately for him on this occasion, just coming up short.
Now Moore with this long, long birdie attempt down the hill. I think he'd be pleased to get down in 2, in all honesty.
I'll see what you mean. Gone past his partner's marker. Claw grip for the longer putts?
You tend to see it used more on the shorter ones, but you know, again, it's whatever works. If it takes out a nasty little twitch with the wrists, then good luck to them.
Brackley's birdie attempt. I think he was hoping for a little help there from the contours and the breeze. Got neither. And Max Brackley, I said, the big man, standing tall, has had a very good career as a long drive golfer, but he's an excellent professional and looking to really turn his hand to making the big money here on the tour.
Links golf is a little bit different to the parkland courses we usually play on tour, so what do you need to play good golf on links?
I think if the wind gets up, you need to control your trajectory, especially off the tee. Parkland, you can kind of hit it up in the air, but links, you've got to control the flight. This week we haven't had much wind so far, so it's playing a little bit easier than normal.
And what would it mean to you if you were to get that wind?
Oh, it'd be amazing. It'd be really, really, really amazing, yeah.
Well, Max Brackley, playing out of the Warren Bennett Golf Academy, says Warren is his hero, and not a bad hero to have, Warren Bennett. And that's not a bad putt from Moore back up the slope. Well, like a few young golfers that we see out there these days, don't mind leaving themselves a tough one on the way back. Tarver Jones then, haven't seen him around for a while.
No, he had a very good season a couple of seasons ago and then went on to the Challenge Tour, but he's back this week playing with the EuroPro Tour.
Yeah, good to see him. Good to see one of our successful graduates back in 2014, finished on the 3rd on the Order of Merit, behind Elliot Saltman and Jack Senior, to graduate to that Challenge Tour. The Worthing Golf Club man playing a long way from home here in Montrose this week. Now, Cunningham. Yeah, already had a line on that one and done that very tidily. So solid start for him. Back to Timmis then, this to tie the lead. Let's hope his putting woes don't continue.
And this 5th is a drivable, uphill but drivable par 4, and he's obviously fired it onto the green and just misses his eagle, but it'll be a rock-solid birdie for Timmis.
Yeah, that was a chance there, that eagle, to tie the lead with Moore and Cunningham, but has to settle for the birdie, and if those putts start to drop, this man is going to be an absolute handful on this tour. But as it is, he's put himself right in contention. Unfortunately for Max Brackley though, bogey at the 3rd means that he drops off that top 10 on the leaderboard. But Nick Cunningham and James Moore with a share of the lead at 9 under. So far, so good here at Montrose for those two. Well, as you can see, conditions absolutely wonderful here north of the border. And we'll have more action from the Eagle Orchid Masters coming up after the break. Cunningham and Moore, though, for the moment, have the lead. Welcome back to Montrose and final round action from the Eagle Orchid Masters. Before we get back to the action, John E. Morgan, not for the first time, is in a bit of trouble at the 5th.
Here we are at the par 4 5th. It's called Hillock for a reason, because at about 220 yards off the tee, you come over a big rise, you blindsided from the green, but you can get it. It's only 292 yards, par 4, but look at this. This is what you can find. Go on over there, and I tell you what, you're going to be able to see a great idea on how I got to play this bunker. You got this sleeper bunker here, which is absolutely magnificent. I mean, you just wish everywhere you went to in the world and played golf, that bunker was like this everywhere you played. Now I tell you what, look at this. Ball's just come into rest up this bank, rolled in, not the best of lies. If it was slightly on the upslope, I'd be able to get it up willy-nilly and just be able to put it on the green and be able to dominate the spin of the shot. But it's just come back a little bit of sand behind the ball, so a little bit tricky. That means I've got to come in a little bit steeper on attack and really hope it gets over the edge of this bunker. And then I've got about, I'd say about 5 or 6 paces to reach the green. I might bail out a little bit to the right, take my medicine. He's on line. Go on, my son. Go on, jump in. Oh, there you have it. What a hole.
Well, as usual, John has us in stitches here in the commentary booth. How does he do it? That's how things stand then out on the course. Cunningham and Moore at 9 under with joint lead, but some really talented players in that chasing pack just behind them. McKechnie alongside Hemstock. That's going to be a dangerous group, surely, Gary.
Yeah, these two players have been playing beautifully all this week, and playing together they'll spur each other on, and that may just have caught the bunker we've just watched John play out of.
Yeah, pretty easy according to Johnny Morgan. Just chip it in. Now Cunningham with his tee shot at the par 3 3rd, and as we watch this one come in, all joking aside, Gary, I know we say that John isn't playing with a lot of pressure, but just how good is he still?
Oh, Johnny Morgan is a very, very good player, because, you know, he doesn't have a lot of time to do these, but viewers may think that he's got umpteen goes at it, but he gets these in one go, and I wish John was still playing out on tour.
Yes, we do miss his antics out there on the course. Brilliant to watch. And that's not bad from Hemstock, just running that in just off of the green, so a little tester there.
As we go back to this lovely par 3 3rd hole on top of the sand dunes here, we look all the way down the coast, and James Moore flighting one against the azure sky.
Yeah, a little unlucky. That's caught a few people out today. That's rolling away from the flag and down the bank. Now, McKechnie.
You can certainly see how high the face of these bunkers are. You can only just see the top of his head, but beautifully popped out and rolling down, leaving him a chance still from 10 feet or so for his birdie.
You're going to have to make a few fighting up and downs on a links course. And let's see what we got at 18 with the players now starting to come through to the end of their round.
Yes, this is a good finishing hole. You drive off the elevated tee over the corner of some gorse. For a lot of the players, it'll just be an iron down to avoid the bunkers, then leaving a relatively short iron, probably only a pitching wedge, to try and find today's pin, which is tucked a little bit over on the left and at the back. Got to be careful not to go too far, because if you roll off the back of this green, you'll be out of bounds.
We've had a few fantastic playoffs over the last few years here at Montrose involving this hole. Kinnaird was looking to set a score coming into the clubhouse, but he's bogeyed at 17, which means that he trails by 4 and looks like he's making a bit of a rickets of it coming down the final hole, so he'll be annoyed with himself. Wow, that's how far it rolled back for more.
It's amazing, Simon, because the grass there is really quite long, and for it to trickle back that far is really quite surprising. As we go and pick up Billy Himstock again on the 5th, where he's chipping from the edge of the green. This looks very nice. Yeah, good effort, and again, 4-footer for his birdie.
There's a few options on that shot, but chose the slightly elevated route. Now Kinnaird looking to tidy this up. He would love to hang on to 5 under in the clubhouse. Little punch in to the flag. That just checked up on him a little bit, so he's got that to set the number.
Now, Nick Cunningham, reverse-handed grip, rolling it down the slope. Good effort.
Yeah, looking to move to double figures under the card, but not going to happen. Rolls it in for par. Good effort though, as Gary said. And Cunningham still going along tidily, but you can see from his expression he knows that he needs to be making some shots here. Now Kinnaird, this to stay at 5 under. Yeah. Well done, young man. Well done. Holds his nerve to turn in a decent card.
Yeah, got off to a fantastic start there with an eagle at the first and all those birdies, and slipped off a couple on the back nine, but a good result, and in the clubhouse and hopefully looking for a decent check.
McKechnie, 8 under, has advanced his score by 1. Can go even further. Good roll, but didn't hit it.
That was a lovely roll. You could see the mark on the ball there that so many players put on. It was rolling end over end, a beautiful strike, but not hard enough.
Yes, unfortunately, a couple of times now, a little bit of decel on the putts from McKechnie. Moore with the claw at 3.
This needs to be just outside the left edge to have a chance. And it stayed exactly there. That one was extraordinary. I thought that might be on exactly the right line, but didn't break at all.
Change on the leaderboard though, and a frustrating one for James Moore. So a shot dropped at the par 3 third, and that will move him back to 8 under.
So Hemstock's birdie attempt, again just very slightly uphill, right half, and nicely done. Thank you very much.
So along with a good number of other players, Hemstock moves himself to 8 under, but Cunningham, courtesy of that Moore bogey, is left all in his own some at the top of the leaderboard at the moment. He won't be complaining. 9 under has the lead here in Montrose. Now, out of the fluffy stuff, it has been good weather for growing the rough, and unfortunately Greg Payne has managed to find it here at the 5th. Well, he's out, but he's still in a bit of trouble. However, he had a little stroll with Johnny Morgan for a chat, playing golf with friends. That's how we like to do it on the EuroPro Tour.
Oh, what a beautiful day at the other Montrose Links golf course here, and what an absolute little cracker it is. Little par 4 for us, Greg Payne.
Just a little one, just a little one.
Well, thanks for joining me, boss.
Anytime, mate, anytime.
Well, I tell you what, for these boys and girls, You've had 2 seconds already.
That's true, yep.
Tell us all about it.
Yeah, just got a good bit of form. Obviously Burr Hill being a course I know well, went in there with a good bit of confidence and just played nicely all week. And then last week at Longhurst, same again, just carried on, playing good and just enjoying it.
So come on then, mate. Let's see what you've been working on. All these lads look so athletic these days, don't they? Look at him. Lefty as well. Oh, crisp strike. Well, maybe you don't want me to follow that. Oh, A1. I tell you what, I think I've joined you.
As long as you got a little draw,
you got a little draw.
No, mine was a fade, so if you go past me. Oh, he's behind
No,
it.
I'm just behind you, mate. You're younger and fitter.
You're getting old, John.
Come on, mate. The players are standard out here now. I mean, it's grown.
Yeah, big time.
I mean, how have you coped with that? Because now
I like it.
Yeah?
I like it because it makes you play better.
It does.
You know, it forces you to play better. You've got to step up to the level. Everyone's getting hungry now, and you just got to. If you want to make it, you've got to work hard.
And the standard of golf courses?
They're always improving.
They are, aren't they?
Always improving. But again, that forces you to play better.
It does.
So it's improving you all the time. So there's no downside to that.
I feel like you're interviewing me. Fantastic. Fantastic. Good man.
Making your job easier, John.
I've got the old little sand on out, back of the stance.
Uh-huh.
It's links fashion though, isn't it?
Yeah, you want to pitch it short of the pin.
So you want to pitch it
it's
short of the pin,
firm.
very linksy style.
Yeah.
It's a bit of chubby checker, a bit pulley,
could work
bit
out,
spinny, bit spinny. Hold
she's
the
been
green.
high. She's been high.
Right, Greg. That's a nice crisp strike. This is a player. Oh, nearly slam dunks it.
Bit aggressive.
Rolls off the back of the green. Might be easier to go first.
I'm blaming the caddy for that one.
Yeah, mate. I tell you what, you're in trouble now. I tell you what, it was a good roll, but it went straight through the break.
She never turned.
And I tell you what, I'm going to be hard. That ain't given, all right? This is why the cup stuff.
Okay, wow.
I got to say, you got probably one of the best mascots on your bag, your mummy. Your mummy, she is your #1 fan, eh?
She is the #1 fan, yeah, she is.
She's a little diamond, man. She helped this week?
Big help, and yeah, big help. She's always been a big help.
Don't worry, I got this for glory. You got a lot of home support as well, Greg?
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky that my whole family get behind me, and it
was always left. Well, I'm going to see.
I'll give you yours. I'll be the gentleman on TV
Oh,
and give
no,
you
it's
yours.
all right. I'm just going to tap it in.
He's going to tap it in.
I just want to see your legs quiver.
My legs quiver.
In just, you know, anticipation that you might lose this. Nah, it's never in doubt, is it? This is a man rich vein of form. We made that look easy, didn't we?
That was pretty simple.
It was?
Yeah.
Right, good link style, Montrose. Fancy your chances?
I always fancy my chances.
Good lad, all the best.
Thanks, man.
Good man.
Oh, great to hear from Greg alongside Johnny Morgan, and Billy Hemstock is smiling. Look at that, an eagle at the 6th means that he moves to double figures under the card, and Billy Hemstock's challenge is well and truly rolling. Now, young man Max Penny with his second shot into the 5th.
From a very similar position that we saw Hemstock earlier, and a certain birdie there as he rolls it down. In his first season, I think, on the EuroPro Tour, Max Penny.
Yeah, just trying to find his way. Won the pre-qualifier to get through to the Longhurst Hall event. That's how popular this tour is getting. I expect to see a lot more of those appearing over the years as more and more players look to join the tour as their stepping stone into pro golf. Now Timmis has made a little move.
A relatively short 8th hole, and a little sort of long chip and run he was trying to play there. A very good idea on links greens. It didn't quite run out for him, but he's got a chance of his birdie.
Talking of birdies, back to this man, Greg Payne, the left-hander.
Very charming, articulate young man, Greg Payne. He's very nice to talk to.
No, he is, as he proved in that interview with John, and it's a different era for left-handers nowadays, isn't it?
It is a bit. Back when I first turned pro, there was very little equipment for left-handers. They didn't have a lot of choice, and of course the golf courses were often designed with right-handed golfers in mind. But the improvement in equipment and the better control of the golf ball. I think it's made it more of a little bit of a level playing field for left-handed professionals over these last 20 years or so.
How many more times are we going to see that happen to Jason Timmis during the course of this season, I wonder? He'll be hoping not too many more. He has shaved hole after hole this season. I think he's putting very, very well. They're not dropping, Gary, but it looks good.
No, it is definitely good rolls. So let's take a look at this very short par 4 fifth hole, 292 yards, uphill. You can take the driver, the 3-wood, if you fire it down the right-hand side. We can see the dry humps and bumps in front of the green, but if you get lucky over those, the ball can creep through and scuttle onto the front of the green.
Well, if you want to really love and appreciate a links golf course, then looking it from the air is the way to do it. Now, Cunningham, former leader due to that Hemstock eagle at 6, and looking to maintain what has been a good round so far.
We're here at the 8th, 329 yards, golden opportunity. Grab the ball by the horns and think, right, do I have a go for it? If not, just lay up to a nice spot here. 60 yards to go into a quirky little green, 2 beautiful pot bunkers lurking. I thought I'd take the flag out because I owed the last one, just feeling very confident. Now, wedge in hand, let's take it on. Just left of that right-hand bunker. Nice and high ball flight, try and land it nice and soft. Has it got there? 1 hop on the green, bit of spin, 15-footer for birdie. You'd take it all day long, wouldn't you?
Always very useful to get that kind of look at the shots facing these players from Johnny Morgan. Hemstock then, our new leader.
Yeah, just playing from the light semi. Ball was a little bit below his feet, but he's controlled that beautifully. And pin high, and a chance of another birdie on.
Well, with the neck of the woods down in the southwest that he's played most of his golf, Hemstock will not fear these conditions today at all.
As we see James Moore letting fly with his driver, trying to just draw on over these hills. And here it comes. There we are. It's scuttled up over. Uphill and down dale and on to the greens forward of the putting green.
Yes, with the beautiful town of Montrose in the background. Now McKechnie with his second shot, now 1 behind his playing partner Hemstock. Lovely striker of the ball, very experienced professional, and goes about his business very well on and off the course.
Oh yes, he is. Paul McKechnie is another one of these young players. We've got some super characters out here, and McKechnie again is, you know, I can't sing his praises too much. He's a very, very charming young man.
Cunningham in the bunker. Another man just taking a little peekaboo over the top. Let's run on. That's going to be a tester coming back for Nick. Yeah, he knows it as well.
So, can he get line and pace right? Probably not outside the hole. He needs to keep this inside the hole.
I was wondering whether he'd hit that one, but he has.
I was as well. It was just kept going. It was such a good strike. It just kept rolling and staggered into the front door.
Joint leaders at 10 under then. McKechnie alongside Hemstock, playing partners today. Moore again from distance.
Great effort.
Good effort for an eagle, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It really was, but again, I think these guys will feel that even with a birdie here, they're losing ground.
We're certainly seeing some sparkling golf and some tremendous scoring going on. And we return to Billy Hemstock to see how he fares with his opportunity on the 8th. He read it perfectly and hit it way too hard, just blasted it through the break there.
Yeah, that was for the lead on his own. Having seen McKechnie come back at him to go to 10 under, this to stay at 10 under. Just sneaks in. So some movement, Moore moving to 9 under. Hemstock staying at 10. His playing partner joining him now, Cunningham. This to tie the lead. It'll be a 3-way tie for the lead with this man. Not this time around. Well, we're seeing plenty of chances out there on this links course. Just get the feeling that this tournament is bubbling along nicely. And in these kind of conditions, I think anything is possible with the quality of these players. Let's take a look, though, at how things stand in the Eagle Orchid Scottish Masters. And it's Hemstock and McKechnie at 10 under. Then that little group with Penny, Cunningham and Moore at 9 under. And let's not count out the likes that are following, tied for 6th, because they are not that far off things, with plenty of chances out there on the course today. Hemstock then against McKechnie, leading. Can they hang on? Find out after the break. Welcome back to Montrose and final round action from the Eagle Orchid Scottish Masters. Conditions absolutely beautiful here on the northeast coast of Scotland. And in terms of the tournament, well, this is what's been happening so far. We've had more developments. Another eagle at 6, this time for Nick Cunningham. And that moves him to 11 under, back into sole possession of the lead, ahead of Hemstock, McKechnie and Moore. Just a single shot behind him. This is bubbling along very, very nicely. Now, familiar face from 2014, third place finish on the Order of Merit for the man from Worthing Golf Club, Peter Tarver-Jones, but good to see him back on the EuroPro for this week. And good to see him playing so well. Oh, look at that, right on cue. So he moves to 9 under and moves himself into very firm contention. Well, I said it was good to see Peter back, and he's certainly looking happy about it as well. Fantastic putt to put himself into contention. 68 and 67 on the first 2 days, and no stranger to success on the EuroPro Tour. A 2-time winner back in 2014 at Prince's and at the Oxfordshire. Well, his golfing idol is Louis Oosthuizen, so he'll be certainly looking to replicate some of that man's great successes over the coming years. And he spoke to Kit Alexander.
It's our first trip north of the border this season, also our first links course. You mentioned you love it. What different challenge does that give you than a normal sort of parkland or any other type of course?
Well, I like to shape the ball quite a lot, so I quite like playing in the wind for starters, and I also like, I feel like I can control the spin quite well. So when you're hitting into the green, sometimes you maybe need a lot of spin, sometimes you maybe need a lot of release. Judge how the wind's going to react, and I'm generally pretty good at that. So I quite like controlling my spin on the greens, and I just like the way links courses look as well. I think they're quite good fun, quite cool.
Are there any specific shots that you work on when you know you're going to be playing a links course?
Yeah, definitely. I'd probably get my rescue wood out the bag. I haven't got my rescue wood in this week. I try more low sort of Stinger 3-irons, runny ones. I try a lot more bump and runs around the greens. In fact, I don't think I've hit any lofted chips this week. I've just hit bump and runs. So yeah, they're definitely shots that I try and use more.
7 under par, just 2 shots back of the leader heading into the final round. How are you feeling?
Feel good, feel good. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's what you practice and work for, isn't it, to get in contention. So you just got to make the most of it and enjoy it when you're there, haven't you? So yeah, it'll be good fun.
Our new leader, Nick Cunningham, with his second into the 7th. And Gary Alice. I wonder what course designers James Braid and old Tom Morris would have said if you'd gone up to them and said, hey, your course is great fun, it's cool.
Yeah. They were probably even pre-fridges and all of that, and pre-ice maybe.
Absolutely. 2 legendary course designers from this part of the world who've had a hand in the development of many of the links up and down the coastline of Scotland. Now Hemstock playing alongside McKechnie. These two, we've been talking about them all day. Think they could do something today, and Hemstock looks like he's got the bit between his teeth.
So, joining James Moore on the 7th. Little chip and run from the front of the green, up the slope. Got the pace right, but hasn't quite read the umps and hollers.
Had a smile on his face when he played the shot, wasn't smiling after it. Now Hemstock looks like he's got himself to a good position off the tee here.
I like the way he controls a lot of these shots with a curtailed follow-through, just sort of punching the ball into the green.
Oh, it's genius. That is genius. He's so unlucky. Well, that would have changed the scoreboard massively.
Certainly would. I don't really know how it managed to wriggle round the hole.
Cunningham for birdie, just off the dance floor.
See how beautifully the course is prepared there from that fringe. It ran on seamlessly.
Yes, Peter Tarver-Jones was quite right about that. The links courses do look lovely, especially in these weather conditions. That's the kind of putt that you like when you get to the green. Hemstock then moves his score on once more and joins Cunningham at 11 under at the top of the leaderboard.
Now, following his chip of good length, but a little offline, can James Moore convert? He certainly can. Well done.
Three-way tie for the lead. He's smiling again. Now, McKechnie, can he make it 4?
Well, they're going in from all over the place, so I expect this to follow.
Join the club, Paul McKechnie. 11 under for him as well. Told you this tournament was bubbling along nicely. And I think it's just starting to catch light in this final round.
Cunningham to save his par.
Oh no, that was to stay in our new elite group at 11 under. That's a dramatic change, isn't it, in the matter of seconds. Goes from sole possession of the lead to second place behind our leaders. Now, news from the end of his round. Neil Fenwick, great player, gets into the clubhouse at 9 under after a fabulous round of 65, and that's the kind of number that's going to put pressure on the rest of this field. But at the moment, Hemstock, McKechnie and Moore don't look under too much pressure at all. They lead from Cunningham by 1 on 11 under. Well, as we've said time and time again today, beautiful conditions for these players, and they are making the most of it.
Well, Paul McKechnie's hit a great tee shot down this 10th, looking straight down onto the green. Lofted club, good length, but a bit wide of the mark.
Yeah, disappointed with that one. Understandably so. Joint leader, James Moore. He's had a couple of good finishes on the EuroPro Tour over the years, a couple of thirds and a second. Got that second, incidentally, at the 4-day tournament at Asbury Hall. But still looking for that first win. Now, James Moore, 27 years of age now, had a quiet season last season, as we alluded to in last week's coverage, but has really kicked on and come back to some very good form. And he caught up with Kit Alexander.
I've played solid the last couple of days. I putted really nicely. It was pretty tricky yesterday and I went bogey free, so that was nice. I think obviously today the weather's great, so scoring's going to be good. But like we say in final rounds, it might not be as good as what we think, but we'll see. I'll just try and make as many birdies as I can.
Speaking after your second round, you said your game is better now than it's ever been. So what have you improved over the winter and coming into this season?
My iron play's become a lot better. I've always been all right off the tee. Putting's hit and miss, but I've sort of tidied my putting up as well, so everything's just a little bit better than it was. It's all sort of a bit more consistent. It's nice to be in these positions a bit more often.
Yes, consistency, not a bad thing to aspire to. If you take someone like Greg Payne, Gary, it's doing him a lot of favours on the Order of Merit at the moment.
Yes, I think it's about becoming professional for these young players. A lot of them have come from very good amateur careers where you win the trophy, doesn't really matter if you finish 2 or 3 behind. But for these guys, the amount of making money, the race, for the end of the season and everything, it's really important that they focus and keep making sure that they pick up as much money and be as consistent as they possibly can.
Yeah, the race to Desert Springs is what it's all about on the EuroPro Tour. To get one of those top 5 places and progress your career to the Challenge Tour. Max Penny then trailing by 2. I haven't seen him for a little while. You can see what he's trying to do with that shot out of the rough. I'm not sure he likes it. Well, he's not far away. Little tester back, but he's got plenty of green to work with.
from the edge of this 10th green. Very slightly uphill for Paul McKechnie.
Close, but not quite that cigar for McKechnie. Some good putting today, though, from him. And that's what they're playing for. There's the prize fund. And that money goes straight into the Order of Merit account. And that effectively, as well as putting food on the table and paying for your airfares, etc., also becomes your points. Now back to this young man. I mentioned pre-qualifiers earlier that he played in at Longhurst Hall. It's interesting to see the pre-qualifiers back again.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's something that's still on the US tour, and it just shows the popularity and the demand for players to play on this tour that we've had to introduce a pre-qualifying to get to the 156 numbers that start each week.
Little blast from the past. Now Cunningham. Yeah, just went off in my hand, officer, I'm afraid. As soon as he hit it as well, he knew that was a little too bold.
So we've picked up Greg Payne on the 9th, who's been in a bit of trouble. This is for a 6, 2 drop shots. And it's a good putt in the end for a double bogey, if you can have a good double bogey.
Commentator's curse, I'm afraid. We just mentioned him in terms of being Mr. Consistent, but he won't be happy with that. He goes back to 5 under. But at the top of the leaderboard, Hemstock. And that one shuffles past. Very important part for this, for Max Penny to stay. A 9 under, no. Well, I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to be confident and bold and hit the back of the cup, but just wasn't there with the read.
No, it's so easy if you're a little unsure, and then do I hit it hard, do I dribble it in, and you end up sort of not getting the line right, and away goes the shot.
And there's real pressure standing over these putts. Now Moore said his putting can be a little hit and miss when he spoke to Kit. I think we'd agree with that. Steady enough today, but another birdie chance goes begging. That would have been for sole possession of the lead. So our leaders at the moment stuck on 11 under. Not a bad number to be stuck on, let's face it. And a wry smile from the Rockcliffe Hall man. Back to the other end of the country, though.
Yes, Billy Hemstock from Teignmouth in Devon.
Well done, says his playing partner, Paul McKechnie. They've been chatting away during the first 9. They've been a little quieter, though, as they're moving through the round. Oh, go on. There is no justice sometimes. Well, that is unfortunate. It means that he drifts back to 9 under. But in terms of our lead, it's still a 3-way tie. Hemstock, McKechnie and Moore on 11 under. And in the clubhouse, I wouldn't exactly say sitting pretty, but Neil Fenwick at 9 under after that round of 65. We'll be keeping a very careful eye on how things develop in this final round at the Eagle Orchid Scottish Masters. But it's still Hemstock, McKechnie and Moore that are bossing it north of the border. More to come after the break. Welcome back to final round action from the Eagle Orchid Scottish Masters. Before we get back to the action, though, let's hear about the struggle to preserve 450 years of heritage here at Montrose.
It's been going on for about 40 years now, since the harbour was dredged, and it's a problem. We've had about 70 metres loss of beach in that period over this winter, which wasn't. It was quite benign, really. We lost about another 5 or 6 metres behind the second tee. So it's just an ongoing process, and we have to stop that erosion somehow.
Behind you and to the side of us, we can see these rocks here. So obviously this is the kind of thing that you want to carry on down the beach.
Yeah, we'd like Angus Council to consider it. At the moment, they're not thinking of that option. They're looking for a plan whereby the beach will look after itself over a period. We're not convinced that's going to happen and give us a chance to save the golf course, which is 454 years old. So it's a significant part of Montrose.
At the moment, the first green would be affected because we have just got about 20 yards now that's left in that area, so it would maybe have to be looked at as being a shortened hole. The course is still as it is, and it's been played as it is just now. It's a wonderful golf course, and even if it is shortened in any way, it will still, you're still able to see the true links that we've got here as well.
Well, we wish them all the very best of luck. Same to all our players, but it's Billy Hemstock at the moment that's making his own luck. It's another birdie for him, and he takes himself to 12 under through 11. And that means it's Billy Hemstock's turn to take sole possession of the lead, ahead of Paul McKechnie and James Moore. And Neil Fenwick in the clubhouse after that round of 65 at 9 under. I think he'll be sitting there just hoping, maybe against hope, that that wind picks up and causes a few problems out on course. We will see. Now trailing by 1, James Moore once again putting a really good round of golf together.
Just off the fairway, but looking like a good lie, but from his body language he's tweaked it a bit left, and that's a long and tricky putt over those slopes there.
Yeah, you won't fancy that. Back to Hemstock, winner at Moore Allerton, back-to-back wins back in 13 and 14 to go with his Kingspan win at Concrewood, and to go with his birdie at 11. It's a birdie at 12, and he moves to 13 under and looks a very, very determined character right now, Hemstock. Oh, what a beautiful view.
It is, looking away across the distance back towards the town as we watch Cunningham hitting his second shot. And again, good length, but the pin's tucked very much on the right there, and attacking it is very easy to just get up onto the fringe there. As we come back to the 12th, and McKechnie, and he emulate Hemstock and roll his in for a birdie as well.
Nicely done, bit of catch me if you can at the moment, but McKechnie just about keeping pace with Hemstock.
It is a bit like prizefight, they're really trading blow for blow, aren't they?
This man though just dropping off the pace with a few disappointing holes, but Cunningham looking to delicately find his way back in, and again he'll be a little disappointed with that one, the young man. Very popular age on the tour this year, 22 years of age, and another player looking to kick on into the higher ranks of professional golf. And like a lot of players, his idol is Tiger Woods, and he spoke to Kit Alexander.
Nick, you're right here in contention at Montrose, but you were a competitive swimmer in your younger days. Tell us a bit about that and how you then got into golf.
What do you want to know?
Well, when did you first start swimming?
6 weeks old.
So you were swimming before you were walking?
Yeah, parents just threw me in and yeah, gone with it, and didn't really stop really.
How good did you get?
Not that good. Say county level. So yeah, it was like I stopped when I was like 14, 15, so probably should have carried that on, but golf's way more fun.
Why was it golf that you replaced the swimming with?
Always played golf and just enjoyed it more. Swimming takes over your life too much as well. It's all you do, and you don't get much chat while you're training. But yeah, golf's just way more fun, isn't it?
That'll teach Kit Alexander, coming along with those blinking questions and getting in the way of the golf. That'll teach him. Tarver Jones. Good ball flight again. He said he likes to shape the ball a lot, and he should therefore be able to benefit from this wind today.
Yeah, and I think there he was just trying to hold it up against the breeze, which is coming off the left, and just overdid it. So he's only just off the edge of the green, not too bad.
Birdie chance for Moore then. Well, that is a terrific effort, Gary. You said it was a terrifying putt.
It was a very good effort from long range. And, you know, he'd have been happy with 2 putts, but when it gets it that close, you think, oh, if only I could have sneaked a birdie.
Man of Kent, Max Brackley, 30 years of age. Talked about his long drive credentials, and how about his short game credentials? Brilliant shot, moves to 7 under.
It's amazing how many very big people have a lovely touch in golf. It's over the years there's been a lot of people who had a great touch and were physically very large, and you would maybe, I don't know, put it together that perhaps they wouldn't necessarily have that touch, but they do.
In terms of his height and his build, he's a Ernie Els type of character. Back to Tarver Jones, though, the Worthing Golf Club man, and that looks to be a little short of the mark, I'm afraid.
This is where you don't play that many seaside golf courses. These players get really a bit locked in to playing with the very lofted clubs around the green, and you know, when the ball's sitting down in this wispy grass, you get a good contact, but it puts a lot of backspin on the ball. And you know, I would like to see them with a little bit more variety, using the slightly straighter face clubs, a bit like a Jason Day, chip and running it. And never forget, boys, the ball's round, it will roll.
Good shout. Cunningham hoping it does exactly that, and it does. Straight in to the cup. Looking for a recovery then for this young man. At the moment, treading water, I'm afraid. Tarver Jones then. Yeah, nicely done, nicely done.
Yeah, if you can keep rolling putts in of that length, it doesn't really matter what club you chip with, does it? But I think I'd rather have a few 6-inch tap-ins than having a whole 6 or 7 footers.
Hemstock it is then with the lead, moves himself to 13 under and looking very good indeed. Now let's get to the 11th with Johnny Morgan.
Well, 450 yards here at the 11th. That's what the boys got to contend with. Swooping dog leg from left to right as well from the tee shot, aiming all the way down this left-hand side of these lovely, beautiful pot bunkers that you see all adjacent running up and down it. Gorse bushes all the way from start to finish down the right-hand side. And, you know, typical links fashion, lots of wind. So plays havoc with the mind, what you got to do off the tee, the kind of ideas you need to play it. And look at my ball. Look where it's come to rest. Do I want to be in the bunker? Would I rather be there? I mean, where it's aiming me if I took a normal stance is, well, 200 yards right of my target. So I'm just trying to improvise here what I can do to get to make this shot happen. Now you think to yourself, right, back of the stance, put my weight back there, gonna add loft and try and do it. Not gonna generate too much power. Now, you know, you could say, right, I'll get a little bit more round and I'll hood the face and I'll try and work it. But I think, you know, look at this. You go like that, you just get a feel for it. I'm just going to wrap the hands over. I've got a full massive backswing I can make now, so I've got to generate a lot more power. I'm obviously going to have to aim it into the gorse bushes, so I'm going to be able to hook it massively. So this ball's going to come out like a, well, you could say like a greyhound, you know, going for the finish line. Coming in low, and it's going to run a country mile. Now, here we go. Let's give it a go. Now, 7-iron, obviously, I've de-lofted it a bit. So it's like a 6 or a 5-iron. Let's see what I got. Go on, baby. I think that's got up just short of the green. And I tell you what, chipping a putt, bring on the par.
Trick shots from Johnny Morgan. Not bad, you know, for 7 o'clock in the morning. Now Cunningham a little bit later in the day.
Launches one up into the sky. But unfortunately, he's turned it over, and again got that awkward little chip shot over the hollow at the edge of the green down to the pin. As we take a look at this 13th hole, only 320 yards, going out to the far end of the golf course. Most of these players will play a long iron to get into position. They don't actually want to get too close to the green because it's difficult to spin the ball, so they will lay back and then leave themselves a full lob wedge to throw it up into the air, get the right distance and stop the ball as close to the pin as they can for a chance of a birdie.
Green's certainly nice and receptive here at Montrose this week, so McKechnie will approach this shot confidently.
Really seemed to nip that off the top of the turf. Good result.
Now back to John's trick shots. Physics, equal and opposite reactions. What happens if those shots don't quite go right?
Well, I think you'd have piped it, caught it off the socket, and it would have gone at 45 degrees somewhere deep into the gorse, and if I'd have done it, I'd have probably fallen base over apex backwards into the bunker.
Just for good measure. Oh dear. Now then, Moore will not be too happy with that second. He's in contention again this week, but he's got to put it together. Now Hemstock, his second shot, looking to follow McKechnie in, but maybe just get a little closer to the flag. And that's checked up on him as well. I think he felt that might just release up towards the pin, but it didn't. Now let's catch up with Kit.
Moore's just slightly overcooked his approach from 186 yards here into the 11th green. He's run just off the back, but it's a pretty straightforward chip. We've just seen someone in the previous group chip in, so it is doable. It'll be slightly downhill once it gets into the green, so he shouldn't have any trouble getting the ball to the hole.
Now top golfers, and indeed all golfers really, deal in percentages, or should be dealing in percentages. And percentage-wise, this is perfectly within his sphere of short game play. And that's why he'll be kicking himself after that.
Yeah, it's another example of, you know, wrong choice of club. So as we rejoin Hemstock and McKechnie, I have to say, Simon, it's been wonderful to watch, because every single hole they've had birdie opportunities. They haven't always made them like that, but you just feel they could, well, somebody may even break 60. I mean, it's quite remarkable the way they're going.
Well, that would be astonishing, wouldn't it? Every so often one of those magic rounds comes along, and it's still a possibility for both these men. Hemstock has the lead at the moment, but McKechnie going along nicely as well, and Moore with a bit of recovery work here.
Again, good shot, downwind. I mean, fairly close, but you know, I've lived quite a long time. I've waited a long time to see the hole come running forward to pick up the ball, and so, you know, it ain't going to go in if you don't get it there.
Now this man has come up short on a couple of occasions today. I'm afraid gets past the hole with that putt, but the opportunity to tie the lead has temporarily passed him by. Great little head-to-head, little tournament within a tournament with Hemstock and McKechnie today. Back to Cunningham.
Quite a long range to save his par, and unfortunately a bogey is the result.
Fancy a chalk ice?
Yeah, no, actually I'll have a Mr. Whippy with a 99, please.
Cunningham then, I'm afraid he's going to move off that number. He'll move back to 8 under, and Moore manages to hang on to his par. So nice little up and down there from the back of the green, but they'll want to be making moves at the moment rather than just hanging on in there. Billy Hemstock then claiming that outright lead and staying there for the moment, just ahead of his playing partner Paul McKechnie, and it looks like everybody's starting to move away from that clubhouse score of 9 under from Neil Fenwick. But plenty of great golf still to come here on the links at Montrose. Hemstock is the leader, and he's got his eyes very firmly on the title. Welcome back to some terrific final round action here from the Eagle Orchid Scottish Masters on the Montrose Golf Links. Simon Golding and Gary Ellis with you. Gary, talking about a possible sub-60 round, I wonder.
Well, it would be amazing, but you never know. As we take a look at this, what looks a very innocuous hole, the 14th, but it actually narrows down in the drive area, and thick gorse either side, which can easily catch the players out unless you have a good straight hit. Got some bunkers to avoid, and then you've got this two-tier green, what they used to call a Mackenzie green, and you've got to find the right club, because you don't really want to be having to put up or down the step.
Yeah, great shout. Mackenzie green, that's a blast from the past. Now Hemstock, one of those men that could challenge that 60 number today if he can find some more magic on these closing holes. He certainly going to have a shot at the course record, which at the moment stands at 62. That was set 9 years ago in conditions very similar to today. Tarver Jones then trailing by 4 shots now, and he's played really well today. You'll be wondering how he's so far back. A man that shot 68 and 67 on the first 2 days. But you just get the feeling that low 60s is the only score that's going to have a chance on this final round here on the links. Good to see the man from Sussex back in action on the EuroPro Tour. A bit like Alan Partridge used to say, come back on the show, tell us all about it. A man that has kicked on from this tour to greater things. Now McKechnie, still in it.
Yeah, and looking for that good straight hit down this hole. It's funny, sometimes dead straight holes don't suit the eye. There's almost nothing to focus on and see, and it's surprising how often what looks a wide straight hole, they miss the fairway, but not this time. That's in good position for McKechnie.
Birdie chance for Tarver Jones. Having to give it a good wrap. Although this sun will have dried the greens out a little.
Yeah, a little bit of breeze, bit of sun as the day's gone on. It'll have dried them, but of course the grass will have grown a little bit to counteract that.
No birdie then for Tarver Jones as we go back to Hemstock. Yeah, you're right, the straight hole just doing for him at the moment.
Picked up a good lie, even though he's missed the fairway. Fully expect him to have chosen the right club and pop it onto the right level on the green.
Oh, chances, 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 and Hemstock and McKechnie have been quite brilliant today.
Thank you.
They really have spurred each other on.
They have, as we take a little look at this 176-yard par 3 12th hole. Come out from the gorse bushes, shooter bushes, necklace of bunkers, as you can see around the greens. Again, all falls off to the side. Difficult to chip if you do miss this green, but it is a pretty big target, so a good chance of making a birdie if you can find the green, as we watch James Moore trying to do exactly that. All looks as though it's just drawing in, which it was, over the top of the pin, but towards the back of the green.
Shaped it back nicely, stayed super safe. The links bunkers, the protection for the course, as well as the weather, of course.
Yeah, they're wonderful, these stacked turf face bunkers that are almost vertical. Really are a challenge to get out of for any viewers who haven't been to a traditional links. They're scary, as we watch McKechnie trying to follow Hemstock onto the right level of the green and doing an even better job. This is fantastic, Simon. It really is wonderful to watch, and played in such wonderful spirit between these two players.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what we've come to see on this final round. Told you it was going to be good at the top of the show, and it's turning out to be just that. Cunningham. He's shown a bit of character, that's Nick Cunningham, because he's had a couple of horrible holes, and he's coming back really strong here. That's a great shot.
That is a super shot, that. Just judged it to perfection over the front bunker, stopped it before the hole. I like those slow-mo shots, even if we only see their shoulders, but when you watch them go through, you watch, look at the muscles in their arms, the pressure that's on them from hitting.
All impressive, and the steadiness of the head as well, although the head came up on that one from Billy, but fortunately for him, got a good strike on it into the hole, and it's another birdie for Billy Hemstock.
Moore's shot here at the par 3 would have looked fantastic in the air, but he's erred on the side of caution, understandably, taking those bunkers completely out of play and gone a club too long. The putt he faced won't be too intimidating. The greens aren't scary quick today. It'll move a little bit from the left. His playing partner, however, at this stage, with shots to make up, has taken dead aim. He's managed to keep it short of the hole over the bunkers, and he's now got a really, really good chance for a 2.
Thanks, Kit. Yeah, it was a majestic shot from Moore, but he's left himself with this putt.
Yeah, Kit painted us a nice picture, though, of it. Let's see how he does. As his playing partner said, good effort.
Back to the lefty.
Yeah, hasn't quite happened for Greg Payne today. He's been not quite firing on all cylinders. But that's a pretty good pitch in. And there's Mum, who's always there, as we heard earlier on, with him, and that's a very nice relationship they have.
Psychologically, if you've had a few bad holes, maybe the pressure just comes off. Well, it should have been off for Nick Cunningham after that fabulous tee shot, but maybe just walked to the hole thinking about it, and that opportunity to put himself right back in the mix, I'm afraid, has gone.
So the pressure on Paul McKechnie now, with Billy Hemstock having holed his putt. But he's up to it.
A little bit of breeze as well, picked up just as he was about to hit that. Very nice stroke, so he goes to 13 under, and that wind just starting to ruffle the clothes of a few players. Well, playing for the highest possible finish, Greg Payne, just to keep his Race to Desert Springs challenge ticking along nicely. That's what he'll be focusing on from here on in.
So we watch James Moore just tidying up from inside a foot.
Yeah, I think he'll take that, definitely. Well, beautiful scenes here at Montrose today. From the point of view of Hemstock, McKechnie and Moore, not much time to admire the scenery, but they're certainly putting on a wonderful display of golf for us to admire.
That's a nice little three-quarter pitch shot from Moore. And again, that's a very good shot, right in, tight beside the flagstick.
Hemstock with his third into this par 5 15th.
This is a really tough bunker shot. From the front there, it's a long way back to this pin, and that really is a very good shot.
Yeah, not unusual to come out of links bunkers backwards, the wrong way, away from the flag, but he's taken that on, beaten the face, and managed to get that back into play. Now Cunningham looking to emulate his playing partner Moore. Oh, he does more than that. Beautiful.
Yep, more than more.
Like it. Oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah, McKechnie's gone through this par 5 here and found a very awkward lie. Oh. Well, that's a remarkable shot from there, because that ball looked to be lying in almost 2 feet of grass and very little green. That really is, that's an excellent golf shot, maybe the best one we've seen today.
Moore, another birdie opportunity. Takes it with both hands. Well done, James Moore, moves himself to 12 under. You're absolutely right, that was a stunning shot from McKechnie, but Hemstock, back to business for him. Back on the birdies.
Business as usual, you could say.
Well, he really is heading for a magnificent score if he can keep this going. 15 under now, Billy Hemstock.
Nice close-up of Cunningham for his birdie. Ball rolls end over end, all very simple.
Yes, well done to him, moves it back to 9 under. As McKechnie prepares to move to 14 under after that great recovery shot.
I have to admire Paul McKechnie, because almost every time he's had to follow Hemstock in, and that's just added pressure, and thus far he's done it every single time.
Yeah, full marks to McKechnie, but even better from Billy Hemstock's point of view, just keeps that charge going. 15 under through 15 and heading for a very impressive score indeed. Can anyone else live with that kind of total? McKechnie and Moore are still in the hunt. Well, at the moment, it's all about Billy. Can McKechnie change that pattern? More action from the final round of the Eagle Orchid Scottish Masters coming up after the break. Terrific final round action from Montrose. As a pairing, Billy Hemstock and Paul McKechnie are 17 under through 15 holes, and that is why they lead the Eagle Orchid Scottish Masters.
Well, we got the 3 5s, 555, the 15th, 555 yards, par 5. What a chance for the boys to get on in 2 on here. Great opportunity to make birdie, if yet an eagle. Kind of bottlenecks here at about 60 yards from the green. So it's a pretty straightforward drive off the tee. One little pot bunker, which not really going to come into play. Bit of gorse down the left, but pretty open. So a great chance for the players. But here, bunker 60 yards out, it really is going to play havoc. If they come in here, they got the hardest shot in golf, no doubt about it. The 60-yard bunker shot, especially with these 2 little beautiful pot bunkers shying right at this green, and the pin today just tucked on that right hand side. And like I say, it bottlenecks about here, but the boys will be having a little good go at it because it opens up down the left hand side. Now, if I was a better man, if the wind was straight into me, which it normally is here, coming straight off the sea, I'd probably back stance, get the lofted club out, put it up into the sky, loads of spin, pitch it on the green. It will spin back, I know it would, but you know, I can take those bunkers out of play. But you know, when it's nice and benign like it is today and it's absolutely gorgeous, you just think, right, you got to play it properly. Now I got the 8-iron out from 60 yards. I mean, it just shows you the kind of style I got to play this one. I got aim just left of the pin. It should sweep down onto the green from left to right. But this one now, I just need to stay nice and shallow. This should kind of aquaplane off the edge of this bunker and just kind of propel itself down towards the green, I hope. But it's kind of a 1 in 3 scenario for me, this one. Right, open the club face, open the stance, keep it nice and shallow as much as I can. Stay with it. Don't try and work the ball up in a bunker, which is a normal fault. Here we go. Might be too far right. Oh, just caught the bunker. Bit off a bit more than I could chew.
Well, there's your proof that he really does do those in one take. No miracle at Montrose for John this time around. Hemstock, though, heading for a potential miracle, leading at 15 under and playing quite brilliantly.
As we see Greg Payne launching his second shot on this par 5, and that's a mighty blow and a very, very good shot. Whoa, look at that. Good, eh, Simon?
That is stunning. Well, we know Greg Payne's capable of that kind of thing, but this is the man they're all trying to catch at the moment. And Hemstock, remember, a winner on the EuroPro Tour in years gone by. He'll know exactly how to handle himself over this closing stretch.
That's a good shot on this very tough par 3 16th.
After that belter, he deserves an eagle. Yeah, Greg Payne's got it. That's changed his fortunes dramatically.
Certainly has. Little fist pump. You can see it's important to him. As we take a look at this 16th hole, 235 yards, the longest par 3. And the difficulty here is, okay, you can get in trouble left and right, but it's quite a big target. But the green itself is like an elephant's graveyard. There are so many big lumps and bumps on this. In fact, it's quite difficult to find anywhere flat to put the pin. Just designed really by nature over the years, and sand that's blown on it. Very, very good hole.
Now back to this McKechnie Hemstock ding-dong, I guess we could call it. Hemstock already with a good shot. Now, does he like it? I think he does. Wants it just to draw back. And they followed each other around. This is going to work very nicely, though. And look at that green. Pin setting on greens like that, Gary, not easy.
No, you're right, Simon. It's a huge area, this green, but there are very, very few areas in which to place the pin. But you can get a little device, if you want, that can help some people, which just gives an amount of the gradient on the green. So what you're looking for is not to have anything more than about 2-degree slope would be maximum, because it's just so difficult to putt, particularly if the greens are fast at that speed.
Hemstock then with a bit of terrain to deal with here with this putt. Oh, you are kidding me. You are kidding me. Another one disappears and the birdies keep flowing. That's his best of the day.
Well, that's just magic, because that was coming down a slope there, but he'd got the pace absolutely perfectly judged. Brilliant, brilliant from Billy Hemstock. As we go back to Peter Tarver-Jones with a very delicate little chip, nicely executed. Good shot.
Now Moore losing a little bit of ground, so he really needs this to move to 13 under. Well done. And James Moore responding really well to the pressure today. Strong finish.
Yeah, he's certainly been in there fighting, and it's great. He's, as we've said before, had a good season this season, which is lovely to see. Now this will take some following, as I say. McKechnie's followed Hemstock everywhere.
Not this time. So gives up a little bit of ground. He's tapped in for par, I can tell you, McKechnie, as we go back to Tarver-Jones. Well done to him. So keeping his challenger ticking along. You can just see how tall his playing partner Max Brackley is there. 6'5" on the green. Lovely reaction from Peter. Oh, looks like a very confident, very relaxed man out on course, but the most relaxed man at the moment surely must be Billy Hemstock here at the Eagle Orchid Scottish Masters, because he leads now by 2 shots ahead of his playing partner Paul McKechnie, and that course record for Hemstock is very much on. Right, let's take a look at another hole that will face our leading groups as they come through the closing stages.
So, as we take a look at this 17th hole, very good hole coming at the end of the round here. A lot of trouble to the left if you go in the course, stray too far to the right and you're out of bounds. And then you're faced with a long, thin green with a big drop off to the right. The pin today situated tight on the right. If you miss down there, you won't get it up and down.
Yeah, the pin set is tough, as it usually is on a final round, but if you use the conditions, you can still try and get at it. Now, the bare facts for this man are 2 birdies coming back to the clubhouse, and he will be on a score of 59 for his final round, and a touch of luck there, and he'll take it. He's got that to keep this course record, this dream, alive.
It would be fantastic to see. I mean, he deserves it, really. But that was sensible. Playing, you knows that the bank on the left will shed the ball back towards the pin. Not taking any chances, still has that opportunity of a birdie.
More then, second shot into 15. Wind on his back, so that's going to run. It's okay.
Now McKechnie, after a wonderful tee shot, ball just fractionally above his feet, as you can see. Just got to be a bit careful that he doesn't turn it too far to the left. It's looking good. Oh, but there it is. That's what I was telling you about. If you let this one slide to the right, down that bank it goes. Now have a look at this. This is horrid. No green to work with.
Moore's hit his second shot here on the par 5, just off the edge of the green. Everyone's been reaching it in 2 today with it downwind, but this is a makeable eagle chip. And the way Billy Hemstock's tearing the course up in front, he might just need it.
Well, we use the word scuttle a lot on links golf courses. This one has scuttled through for Moore. So deft touch required here. And that was nicely controlled. Would have liked just a little bit more release, James Moore, but giving himself a chance. Now, let's get to Johnny Morgan again. He's at 17.
Here we go, up onto the green at 17. What a beauty it is, fraught with danger, just real long and narrow. You can just see at the front of this green as well, just the severity of this slope that just dives down half moon all the way down the right hand side and up short, just falls away. They've kind of grown the grass as well a little bit, just to hold up the ball. That's why mine's just hung on by the skin of its teeth just here from my shot. Now, you know, another yard, and I tell you what, that would have been absolutely perfect, but not to be. You know, 9 times out of 10 it rolls down further away and you left yourself such a tricky chip. But I'm going to attempt this one back of the stance, 58-degree, kind of pop it, get the ball running as quickly as I can, like a putt. Now look at this, right opposite my right foot, hands way forward on my left hand side, weight all the way on my left hand side as well. Little bit of break from left to right on this pin. Come on, Johnny. Bit heavy-handed. Oh, just missed it. Oh, and I got a tester coming back. This is what 17 can do to you. It's a brute.
Well, talking of testers, Gary.
Yeah, this is it. But he's out with a very straight face club. This could stay all the way along the ground, I fancy, and this could be the only way of getting this up anywhere near.
Must be in the genes. It's the Scottish in him that's made him run that in. Nicely done.
Yeah, I think he's tried that once or twice before. But you can see, really, you're just putting with something like a 5 or a 6 iron. Just lift it a little bit. Get it to release. The one good thing is that he was trying to run it straight up the bank, so he didn't have to cope with it going across the face of the slope. But even so, this is a very, very good recovery from a second shot that wasn't that inaccurate.
No, that's slow-mo, just showing you how much terrain the ball covered to get to where it finished. Now Moore, still in the hunt? Yes, he is. Well done. Moves to 14 under with that birdie, James Moore, and his season continues to be very good indeed.
Awkward when you think you're winning.
I really like James. He's always so smiley and you know, he's jolly, nice face.
I love it. Now Hemstock, this is the big shot for him. No, the birdie run dries up, I'm afraid. And that's sub 60 round as well. Looks like it's gone.
Now, back to this switchback green on the 16th as we watch Max Brackley. Very good putt.
Short game's looked in good nick today, Max. Well done. And short game needs to be in good nick for our leaders. Par putt for McKechnie. That is a brilliant save from him. Keeps it rolling. Now a little bit of news back at 16, I can tell you. James Moore has just gone left off the tee into the gorse, so he's in a bit of trouble. Now Hemstock, first save of the day for him, isn't it?
It is, and it was a remarkable save. It just sums up the quality that we've seen. It's very, very splendid.
Hemstock rolls it in then for his part, marches on, but he's still going to set a very, very good number. Now Moore, provisional.
Yes, as we've heard, his first ball is in the gorse, and so he's playing a provisional golf ball. Chances are that gorse is so thick, although he's got 5 minutes to look for it, he may not find it.
Now, lovely closing hole, and boy, have we seen some drama on the 18th over the years.
Yeah, this is a very good finishing hole, not by any means the longest or the toughest, but I think it's fun having an 18th hole that is likely to produce a birdie. The danger is that the road is very close at the back of this green, and if they just play a bit too long, the ball can roll over that and then it's out of bounds. So it's a tough second shot, but if they get it right, a good chance of a birdie.
Yes, you don't want to be taking the high road at the back of 18. Hemstock then will know exactly what he wants to do here. Plays it into position.
Yeah, that's good play. He's taken the fairway bunkers out of play there with the iron. Not a big stature, Billy Hemstock, but very flexible, strong, hits the ball a long way, and it's a wonderfully balanced swing.
Yeah, he's a good technician, and on his day he can put together some very good scores. It's exactly what he's doing here in Montrose, and this is the man that's tried to stay with him all day. He's gone a little bit more bold off the tee.
Yeah, and I can understand that. A couple of shots behind to try and smash one down, get it right up near the edge of the green, maybe get a little chip and run in the hole.
And another nice slow-mo reminder of the power and flexibility of the modern player. Now then, Kit is leading the search party at 16 for Moore's ball.
As you can see behind me, the search is ongoing for Moore's ball here on the par 3 16th. He just got it turning over as he tried to hit a stinging one through the breeze, and he's found what looks like some pretty nasty gorse up there. If he doesn't find it, his provisional shot's short of the green, and that looks like his tournament over, unfortunately.
This man's tournament far from over though. 16 under. just how good can this final score be?
Lovely crisp contact, thrown high in the air. Oh yeah, beautifully controlled. Uphill putt. Chance of scoring a 60 if he can roll that in.
Quite amazing day of golf from Billy Hemstock. And this is part of the reason why a lot of hard work has gone into making that swing look that good. Well, I'm afraid to say they never found his ball, so James Moore faced with this massive putt just for bogey.
Yes, it'll be very difficult to hole that one. And he's in danger now of slipping away from second place.
What a shame. He gave it a try, but just missing out. James Moore. Back to McKechnie then. I think the door has been closed by his playing partner, Billy Hemstock. He needed to hold that one, really, and look at that. Once again, side by side.
Yeah, Buddy's all the way through, but barring something very strange happening, Hemstock is going to come out on top of this little battle.
Double bogey putt for Moore. In he goes. That's a tough one to take. But he'll be so pleased with the way that he's playing this season. I'm sure he'll move on. Hemstock then. This for the new course record at 60. Oh, not quite. Not quite. And a few of the local gallery watching on will be fully aware that this still will be the course record. Rolls it in for a fabulous 61.
Yes, it really has been a wonderful round of golf. Absolute pleasure to watch, and a wonderful scorecard there. Now, McKechnie, 63. 62 possibly, but 63 is a wonderful score, and you're not going to win. Yeah, good effort, and it's been great to watch these two players. 18 under par between the two of them for this final 18 holes. And there you see, no drop shots between either of them. Birdies and eagle scattered in from Hemstock, and it's wonderful, played in a great spirit.
Right on, Paul McKechnie, just one of those days when brilliant wasn't, unfortunately, good enough. Met his match in his playing partner today, but well done, buddy, he says. Yes, we smashed it today. Absolutely superb golf from McKechnie and Hemstock, but there had to be a winner, and Billy Hemstock's the man. For Nick Cunningham, well, back to the drawing board, not the finish that he was looking for. It was a really good couple of rounds to go into this final 18, but just couldn't quite keep it together. And playing alongside James Moore, once again, great camaraderie. And from Moore's point of view, the performances keep coming. That win is surely not too far away. But for this week, it's the win that goes to the man that put on the masterclass. A new course record for Billy Hemstock to become the Eagle Orchid Scottish Masters champion for 2016. Let's hear from the winner and the runner-up.
Billy, golf has been played on these links for over 500 years and no one has ever shot 61 until you today. How does it feel?
It feels fantastic. It feels kind of surreal, to be honest with you. When you're in that kind of frame of mind, you don't really know what's going on. So, yeah, it just kept on going out there. It just feels fantastic. It just feels awesome.
If somebody had said to me on the first tee, you shoot 8 under today, I would have basically taken it because it's breezy as well today. There's probably a 20 mile an hour wind blowing, so some tricky pins out there as well. Obviously, it would be in the last day. So 8 under, I'd be a liar if I said I wasn't delighted with it. I played some great golf, hold some nice putts, but yeah, Billy was he was pretty hot in the greens today. He played lovely golf as well, though. I mean, he hit it very well tee to green, and then when he had some chances, he knocked them in. But yeah, both days it was great fun. It was really one of those days when you both get it going quite early on, and you feed off each other. So that's when golf's fun, and I certainly wouldn't reflect on it in a negative light because I haven't won a golf tournament. That would be a bit naive to do that.
My best before today was 8 under, so that is the best round of golf I've had in professional and amateur golf. Yeah, so it can't get any better than that.
I got a wee vibe halfway through that the crowd was pulling for Billy more than me, though. To be fair, he was leading the golf tournament, so and he was holding some nice putts. So no, it was kind of 50-50 out there. But it was great, the fact that there was loads of people who came out. And I don't think we can miss the point, the fact that this is a phenomenal golf course. You know, it really is. I've not heard one negative comment. The greens were basically perfect for 3 days. We're fortunate enough that we come up here kind of once a year and play a tournament up here. The golf course was set up absolutely sensational.
Congratulations to Billy Hemstock on his 4th EuroPro Tour title, the trophy presented by Montrose Club Secretary Claire Penman. And let's see how that influences the race to Desert Springs. Hemstock's win jumps him into the top 5, as wins so often do, but it's the consistent top 10 finishing of Greg Payne despite no win that means he leads ahead of Court, Runcie and Eddington. Incidentally, no player has managed 2 wins so far this season. So far.
Congratulations to Billy Hemstock, who's had a magnificent win here at Montrose Golf Links. Make sure you join us next week at the Carrick in Loch Lomond. We'll see you there.